Alright, so we did the Josh Crane Invitational today. Why don't you chat me up, brother?
Alright, Conrad. Let me chat you up about the Josh Crane Invitational today. So yeah, Josh Crane is an Indiana guy, Danger Josh Crane. And he's been around for like 13 or 14 years now. And he came, I think I first met him when he came to Dayton, actually. And he's one of those dudes that's always kind of been around. And I worked him like 10 years ago when he was coming to Dayton. And then we didn't touch each other again for like until maybe last year or something. But I've always had like an immense amount of respect for Josh because I could like always see him putting in the work and like always going the extra mile to achieve his goals and make stuff happen. And so like he got to go to Japan. He's made a good name for himself, and he's taken that name and he's tried to give love and give something back to his area, which is Indiana and the Indiana wrestling scene, which I love because I am a big part of the Indiana wrestling scene. So doing the Josh Crane Invitational, which it wasn't a tournament like the Ted Petty Invitational or per se. It was just basically Josh being like, these are my people. I want to showcase how good they are in the best way that I feel like I can. So I'm gonna put on a show to do it. And I'm just going to invite my friends and the people who I deem as talented. And me and Josh are not incredibly close, but we're close enough to have like a great amount of respect for each other, I feel. So when he like asked me to do it, well, yeah, I don't even think he asked me to do it, actually. I think he posted that he was going to do it. And I saw that, and at this point in time in my career, it's more definitely about like the feeling of giving back, or not even giving back so much, but experiencing all the things that I kind of maybe didn't get to earlier because I was focused on other things. I was, focused on not getting heat, or making sure I was trying to be friends with the right people, or the right people liked me, or trying to get this booking or that big booking, or not getting blackballed, or whatever the case may be. At some point in time, I feel like everybody goes through this thing where you miss the fun. And thankfully for me, I have reached a point in my life and my career where I've found the fun again. So I kind of look for these opportunities to be like, ooh, let me get in that. Let me roll around there for a little bit. So when Josh put it out there that he was going to do this thing, I messaged him, and I think I was just like, hey man, I don't know what your plan is and what it is at all, but I love the idea. And if you would like to use me, I'd love to be a part of it. And he said you were going to be one of the first people I messaged anyway. So this kind of saves me time. So that not only is cool, but it means something to me, because he's been pretty much around. Like Josh has done a lot of stuff, and he is the Indiana wrestling scene in a lot of ways. Him and like Ace Perry, Jake Oman, like guys like that are like the dudes around here, in my opinion. So he asked me to do it, or when he was like, yeah, I want you to do it, I was like, yeah, it's dope. He was like, but I gotta be honest with you, I'm running this show, and I don't know what I can give you. And I mean, I wrestle for money. I'm good at what I do. Let's Heath Ledger this chunk up. I'm like, you don't do anything you're good at for free. Yeah, at least you shouldn't. And I'm not going to necessarily. However, I'm smart enough to know, like, every match I have at this point is an experience that might be the last one I get. So for me, I love professional wrestling. It has given me so much. It has given me many lessons. It gave me my first wife. It gave me my first heartbreak. It gave me my first ups and my lowest lows. And it has now given me the woman of my dreams, the life that I want, the satisfaction of putting my best foot forward, you know? Like, it's given me so much, so I want to experience as much of it as I possibly can. So, coming to do something like this, money didn't matter to me. It wasn't about pay. And it was about the love. And Josh, sent out a thank you note, which was also just to reiterate that this was a labor of love. And for so many of us, it really is. Of course, the goal, the desire is to make as much money as you possibly can because, you want to do the things that are fun to you forever. You know what they say, if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. I would love to do nothing but wrestle, but, that's not in the cards for me. Thankfully, I still get to do it. Thankfully, it's still a thing that I get to leave my thumbprint on and experience other people's love for it. And this was a showcase of that. And that will always trump money to me. That experience, the ability to be like, this is the thing that literally changed my life from a child to today in some way, shape, or form. It literally, in so many different ways, has shaped me and put me on the paths that I'm on, right? So it's not about a money thing for me, at least in this respect. It's definitely a lot more about the art and the love of doing it. So, wow, that was a long-winded explanation for Josh Crane Invitational. But in all honesty, it gave me so much nostalgia because there was a time when, I was coming out this same general area for a place called IPW. And IPW was a place that, it was like the first place out of the state of Ohio that I ever wrestled. It was the first place that I kind of got that feeling of, ooh, this is what super indie is. Like, there are people that work here that work at Ring of Honor. This is something, right? And I got to do, the first show I did for them was a Super Junior tournament, and like it was the first place that I worked at name. I mean, I think it took freaking 6 years in my career before I ever worked a name, and that name was Jimmy Jacobs. And then Delirious, I got to work Delirious, which was, man, both of those looking back are like, who is this little kid that's getting to rub elbows with these incredible minds with professional wrestling? And not only do I get to rub elbows with them, they are being so giving and loving, not because of me, but because of their love and their passion for this thing that we both do. And it's like, man, it gave me so many like good feelings and good memories. So it's just like got me on this Indiana like kick, and how influential and how impactful it is. And Josh, in this thing, he did, it was a mystery thing, so nobody knew the card. So it was myself and Ace Perry and Josh Crane in this triple threat elimination match for 2 championships that are around Josh's waist, one of which being the Naptown Pro Championship. Now, in my opinion, since IPW has passed on, and I stopped working there in 2009, I believe, and not to my desire, but I basically got blackballed out of there. Because, life's, whatever. But before I got blackballed out of there, the intention was for me to go into a long, extended contendership matches with John Moxley for the IPW Championship. And at that time, man, I was doing real good. There's a fair statement to say that I would have been the first person to knock John Moxley off a pedestal that held the IPW, the World Championship at the time, the FIP World Championship at the time, the CZW Championship, and the HWA Championship, if I'm not mistaken, all at the same time. I would have been the first person to knock John Moxley down before he would eventually go and be John Moxley, right? So, yeah, it is what it is. Everybody's got a story like that. But for me, there are two places in my mind that give me that, ooh, this kind of feels like IPW to me. And that is Wrestlers, which runs out of the Irvine, and Naptown Pro, which is a title that is around Josh Crane's waist right now. And he put that title up in this match. And I'll be completely honest and completely real. I want that title. I want to be that champion. Not just for me, you know? Just to maybe put a Band-Aid on that little wound of never getting those opportunities at IPW that maybe I wanted. I want that. So, I saw this as an opportunity to get it. But anyway, I'll digress on that. Because I just want to talk about, man, just the vibe. The IPW vibe was one of a bunch of kids, man. We were mostly just a bunch of kids. It was like the Naptown Dragons, myself, my tag partner at the time for a period, Alan, the Chris boys, Sammy Callahan, Billy Rock. My gosh, a lot of dudes. Osiris, Hillbilly Jed, Dave Davidson. I could go on, man. I really could. James Avery, Carlton Cass. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna do that because that would, take forever. But it was just a bunch of kids, man. A bunch of kids who were watching Ring of Honor in 2005 and just being like, man, this is the greatest thing ever. How can I be that? And man, did we just go out there and every show, didn't matter if there was like, a packed house or like 30 people who barely knew who any of us were, man, we were just gonna let it all hang out. We were just gonna let it all get in there. Just leave it there. And I gotta be honest, I made my entrance tonight, going against Josh Crane, going against Ace Perry. And I was sitting there in the corner and I was just watching these two dudes. And I was just feeling that vibe. And I don't know why, but in the back of my mind, I went back to that Salvation Army hall thing that the IPW ran at. I went back in my mind just staring across the ring at Sammy Callahan, John Moxley, Jimmy Jenkins, Delirious. And just that, I'm gonna make it happen tonight. Just that mentality of it, right? And I looked at Ace Perry tonight, standing across the ring from me, and I was like, ooh. There's that twinkle. There's that twinkle I'd see in John's eyes. That twinkle I'd see in freaking Dave Davidson's eyes. Drake Younger's eyes. And I'm thinking, man, this kid, I remember when he was a little bitty guy at IWA Mid-South, just trying to survive. And here is this grown man standing across from me with a look in his eyes that says, I'm going to mess you up and I don't care what it takes to do it. And then I peer over at Josh Crane and I see him looking there like a proud champion, knowing that, yep, these dudes are going to put me through the ringer. It's going to suck, but I'm going to love every bit of it. And I just envision they're looking across the ring at me thinking, I watched him fight Moxley. watched him fight the Callahans and the Christ. I watched him defend titles and bleed. We're probably going to do that today. And I can see that twinkle, man.